Picture this. You're the boss staring at 37 dashboards. Sales is up, morale is yellow, someone renamed Project Falcon to Project Angry Falcon, and your gut says hire faster, cut training, move on. Your gut is lovely, but it also told you that fourth espresso was a good idea. Spoiler, it wasn't. Today we're talking about The Insight-Driven Leader by Jenny Dearborn and Kelly Ryder, a book about using people data with business data so you stop guessing and start making decisions that actually move the needle. What's the big point? Data about people isn't just HR wallpaper. When you connect skills, performance, engagement, movement, and all those human signals to the business numbers, revenue, churn, quality, you finally see what's working, why it's working, and what to do next. That's workforce analytics. Not spooky, not buzzword salad, just evidence. Part 1. Measure the effect, not the effort. Most companies track whatever's easy. Turnover rate, time to fill, course completions, smiley face surveys about the training snacks. That's activity. It tells you something happened. It doesn't tell you if it mattered. The book's rule of thumb. If you want to improve something, measure the effect, not just the effort. Example, call center mentoring. Counting how many agents got mentors is effort. Comparing customer satisfaction and retention for mentored versus non-mentored agents? That's effect. Now you can say, mentoring didn't just feel good, it improved renewals by X%. Translation. We're not hugging KPIs, we're changing outcomes. Hiring is the same trap. Time to fill looks heroic until you realize you speed hired a human tumbleweed who leaves in 6 months. Better metrics. Time to productivity, first-year quality of hire, retention at 12-24 months, and performance trajectory. If the folks you hire stay, hit targets, and ramp quickly, your hiring works. If not, your speed is just a fast way to build a revolving door. Learning? Learner satisfaction is mostly about room temperature and whether the sandwiches slapped. Behavior change and business impact beat smile sheets every time. Did reps use the new sales play? Did call handling time fall without hurting quality? Did defects drop? That's what you need to know. A real case, Experian. They built a model using up to 200 data points per employee to predict attrition risk, targeted the right interventions, and cut global attrition by 4%, saving over $40 million. That's not data is cool. That's HR paid for itself, and then some. Bonus outcome, HR gained real influence because they brought results, not feelings. Part 2. Better questions need better plumbing. You don't get traction with analytics if your data lives in 18 islands, guarded by 3 different legal teams, and a printer from 2009. The book is clear. Invest in people, platforms, and partnerships. Clean messy data, integrate systems, and set rules for who sees what and why. Build the capability before you ask the capability to save the quarter. Common pain points. Scattered, inconsistent HR data. Job titles vary. Performance scales don't match. Demographics are apples and durians. Access bottlenecks. Privacy and ethics matter, but we'll get you that file next fiscal year kills momentum. Low credibility. HR numbers are often treated like trivia night compared to financials. Fixes the book pushes. Integration with the business. Connect HR to finance, IT, sales, operations. When you combine people data with revenue, pipeline, defects, and NPS, you see cause and effect. Cross-functional teams. Put HR analytics, finance, sales ops, and IT at the same table with a shared question and one definition of done. Data governance. Decide how data is used, protected, and shared. Be transparent about the value to the business and to employees. Trust is a feature, not a nice to have. A software company did this and halved the ramp time for new sales reps by lining up onboarding, training, and manager assignments. Faster ramp equals faster revenue. Nobody needed a war room. They needed joined up data and a team that talked. Tools? Build versus buy versus extend. There's no single right answer. Pick a lane, commit, and don't duct tape the data dictionary to a broom closet. Quick pit stop. If this kind of no-nonsense breakdown helps, Smack that subscribe like it owes you an engagement metric. It keeps this channel alive and your KPIs slightly less cranky. Part 3. Raise the bar for HR and yourself. IT used to be the people you called when your mouse died. Now CIOs steer digital strategy. Finance went from bookkeeping to steering investment. Marketing went from logos to owning the digital customer. HR is at the same jump point, and the book says, raise expectations. Stop treating HR like a compliance kiosk. Expect HR to shape the workforce, culture, leadership pipeline, and yes, business results. And leaders need to share accountability for people outcomes. Attrition, engagement, hiring efficiency, internal mobility. If revenue is everyone's job, people metrics are everyone's job too. Story time. A global hotel chain saw guest scores and revenue slipping. The HR analytics team traced it back to an over-reliance on front desk contractors who missed key training and had weaker ties to the brand. Why the shift? A software update made it easier to hire contractors than staff. HR flagged it, helped reset the system, and set hiring limits. Scores recovered, sales followed. This is HR as problem solver, not policy police. Part 4. Culture eats dashboards for breakfast. You can't spreadsheet your way to culture. The book argues for a norm where using data is just how work gets done, from executive floor to frontline. Leaders set the tone. Data should shape strategy, not just grade it. The common gap. Executives say data-driven, then make the big calls by vibe. That has to change. Ask better questions. Reward people who bring evidence. Give access so teams can explore data on their own. Train for fluency, not just compliance clicks. And yes, AI helps when used sanely. HR bots can answer routine questions, surface pay insights, and nudge better decisions. Microsoft saved tens of thousands of hours with virtual HR agents. IBM cut churn by a third using AI to support fair comp calls. The tech is ready, but if trust is low, the fanciest model just becomes another tab you ignore. One Fortune 500 financial firm learned this the hard way. After multiple restructures, their digital push still dragged. The real blocker? Low trust and cultural resistance. They ran leadership training, aligned execs, and put 900 plus managers through a 6-month program. Trust scores jumped 12% and results followed. Best financial performance in years. Not because the dashboards got shinier, but because people believed the system wasn't out to lunch. Part 5. The CEO-CRO Alliance. If you want workforce analytics to matter, it has to start at the top. The CEO needs a key HRO who isn't just the people person, but a business strategist who can read a P&L and a regression. The book says only about a quarter of key HROs play that full role today. Often because CEOs don't set the bar high enough or don't invite HR into the real planning. What kind of CHRO works? Sometimes it's a seasoned HR leader who modernized their function and proved impact. Sometimes it's a leader from finance, ops, or product who brings hard data chops and strategic heft. Either way, they should report to the CEO, partner with the CFO and CIO, and have space to innovate, especially on workforce planning, tech, and budgets. Protect learning time and learning money. It's not a perk, it's infrastructure. Microsoft shows the model. Satya Nadella paired with KHRO, Kathleen Hogan, to rebuild culture around collaboration, continuous learning, and purpose, tracked with real data. They rewired systems, agreed on shared leadership principles, watched engagement metrics, and tied the whole thing back to business outcomes. Revenue and profit soared. Employee satisfaction hit all-time highs. That wasn't a poster. That was governance. How to make this real on Monday. 1. Change the questions. Move from how many to so what and now what. Ask, which skills drive our best outcomes? Where does ramp time stall? Which managers grow talent that stays? 2. Change the metrics. Trade activity for outcomes. In hiring, add time to productivity and quality of hire. In learning, measure behavior change and impact. In retention, segment by role, manager, and risk factors. 3. Fix the plumbing. Integrate HR, finance, sales, IT, clean the data, set data ethics and access rules, pick your platform path and commit. 5. Change the roles. Expect HR to lead on workforce design and analytics. Give them a seat in strategy. Hold business leaders accountable for people outcomes. 5. Change the culture. Train for data fluency. Share dashboards openly. Reward evidence-based decisions. Build trust with transparency and quick wins. 6. Align the top. Make the CEO-CHRO partnership real. Tie people strategy to quarterly plans, budgets, and tech roadmaps. Protect learning. Rapid-fire examples to keep in your head. Experian, predictive attrition model. 4% global attrition drop. $14 million saved. HR's credibility skyrockets. Software company. Integrated sales plus HR. Onboarding fixes. Ramp time halved. Faster revenue. Hotel chain. Data pointed to contractor overuse caused by a system tweak. Policy reset. Guest scores and sales recovered. Microsoft. CEO plus CHRO alignment. Culture rebuilt with data, financials and engagement up. Fortune 500 finance. Fix trust. Train leaders. Trust plus 12%. Best financial year. Common traps to avoid? Dashboard tourism. Looking without acting. Pick decisions, then build the dashboard. Speed worship. Filling roles fast but poorly. Measure stickiness and performance, not just the stopwatch. Smile sheet theater. 5 stars for the pastries. 0 impact on the job. Measure behavior change. Shadow spreadsheets. Everyone runs their own numbers. Standardize definitions and sources. Privacy theater versus privacy silence. Either blocking everything or sharing carelessly. Set clear, ethical rules and stick to them. If you only remember one thing, the insight-driven leader doesn't collect more numbers. They connect people data to business outcomes and act. They ask better questions, expect HR to deliver real results, build systems and culture that support evidence, and align the C-suite, especially the CEO and CHRO, around the workforce as a strategic asset. If you want more no-fluff breakdowns like this, hit subscribe and the bell. Think of it as your weekly nudge to measure effect, not effort. Drop a comment with the people metric you'll upgrade next. Time to productivity, quality of hire, something spicy from engagement, and I'll pin the smartest takes. Leaders today are drowning in data, but thirsty for insight. This book hands you the filter. Better questions, cleaner systems, higher expectations, real culture, and top team alignment. Do that, and the dashboards finally start paying rent. See you in the next one.